Here we see a collection of expressions and equations in no particular order. An algebraic expression is a mathematical phrase that contains numbers and/or variables. An algebraic equation is a mathematical statement where two expressions are equal and contains at least one variable. The key word here is equal. We need to look for equal signs. So here we go. I see an equal sign here, 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 and here. This lets me know that these four are equations and not expressions. There are different parts of expressions and equations. A variable is a symbol, usually a letter, that stands for a number. A numerical coefficient is a number that is multiplied by the variable. A constant is a number on its own. It will not change with the variable. An equal sign indicates that one amount, size, or value is the same as another, and we now know that equal signs are only in equations and not expressions. Now let's try to complete this chart. In the first column, we see a collection of expressions and equations, and in the second column, we are asked to decide whether they are expressions or equations. Our first example does not have an equal sign. That lets me know that it's an expression. Our next example does have an equal sign, which means it's an equation. 5 increased by a number does not have an equal sign, which makes it an expression. And finally, y over 3 plus 1 equals 4. There's that equal sign, so we know it's an equation. Our variable is our letter. So in our first example, the letter we see is P. Next we have N, then R, and finally Y. The numerical coefficient is connected to the variable through multiplication. Here we do not see a multiplication sign between the 2 and the P. But in algebra, when we see a variable and a number stuck together with nothing in between, they actually are multiplied together, we just do not write it. So here the numerical coefficient is 2. In this example, we see the 3 right next to the N with nothing in between. So again, they are multiplied together, making our numerical coefficient 3. In this example, we do not see any number connected to the R. However, don't let that fool you. There's a 1 there. We just don't write it. In our last example, we see a number connected to the Y. We see a 3. However, it's underneath the Y, not like in the other examples. So let's look at this Y again. Remember our invisible 1? Let's write that in there. Then what we can do is separate our fraction, 1 over 3, 1/3, from our variable. This lets us see very clearly now that our numerical coefficient is actually 1/3. Finally, we will look for constants. Constants are numbers on their own, and they're not going to be affected by any change in the variable. In our first example, the constant is 1. In our second example, we actually have two constants, 6 and 28. In our third example, we have one constant, 5. And in our last example, we have two constants again, 1 and 4. Thanks for watching.